Hello. So, Runic Journey update, kind of. Yera has been busy, I would say, more than anything. Still processing to some extent what I'm going to be putting into this video. So there may be some follow-on at another day. Let's just say it's been a busy 24 to 36 hours. I got home yesterday around 5 o'clock, having spent sort of the night in hospital with my son, and some other things had been going on in groups I'm in, which I feel my subconscious may have worked on a little bit, shall we say, or perhaps inspired by. I mean, it's the subconscious versus the conscious self. I feel very much what I'm going to describe has happened, and as said, there's been some comments made in some forums that perhaps weighed on me a little bit, that have shaped the dream that I had last night. Because that's what this video is about a dream I had, and not just the dream, the way sort of the dream ended. So I think probably most importantly is to describe the dream. Now, the sun was shining brightly, quite low in the sky, and I don't want to say it had an apocalyptic feel to it. It was more, I was on some lower ground and there was sort of some higher ground, almost some higher ground, rocky perhaps, rocky terrain. The sun sort of, to visualize, was quite close, was bright, to the point that as the figures that were standing there appeared, in the center was Odin. To one side of him there was a figure that, so bright was the sun that they kept themselves hidden. That sort of sun glare that just, you see sort of a sliver of darkness, because the glow around them is so powerful you can't sort of make out who it is. And without not having the time in the dream to sort of lucid dream, and this is the most important part of it, is I was not afforded the opportunity to take into account sort of the 5 or 6 figures, who they were, other than Odin in the middle, and the dream being shut off from me. It was closed down, it was ended. And it was, this is the, I suppose, the more important thing to begin with. I would say there's a lot to consider. Go away, fly. But as someone who lucid dreams and can exercise their will over a dream, I was at the point of about to do that, and the dream was closed down. I couldn't access it again. It was brief, and it feels like it was symbolic, and it's frustrating that I was not allowed to exercise some of my own power within that dream, and what that means, if anything. So it's quite interesting, perplexing, frustrating, and also something that I may be making more of than there actually is to it. Let's say it feels very much like my subconscious sort of battling with my conscious self, and yet the subject matter is something that I have to note on. As I said to my wife this morning, it's just like, other than focusing on Odin, felt like I was starting to look around, realizing it was a dream, wanting to exert my will upon the dream and having it taken away. Because I would say sort of Tyr was to the right of the group. Who else was there? I can't be certain. It was the figure in shadow. Seemed the one my curiosity probably leant towards the most, and let's say almost being that sort of, the dream was shut down before I could take further note. So let's say it has been a hectic 36 hours. The gods haven't been far from my thoughts, or sort of wanting to tap into my power to aid and assist sort of things. So yeah, and I suppose really as well as some of the conversations I've been involved in on social media were kind of challenging me to some extent, and I have had to sort of think about how I felt about that, and whether there was a reason to feel offended or not, or to just go, well, okay, that's an opinion, and move forward. So still processing it, and something to consider, something to think about. Anyway, it's Eurovision tonight, which is always a good fun. So give that wolf a banana. Let's see how that does. Though I suspect Ukraine are probably going to romp home, because politics doesn't play any part in Eurovision. Take care out there. Thank you very much. Goodbye.